Well, we came from the ID string with the X's, and here we see the 3 X's that is often used when you see something with sexy ladies, but it seems to it's some kind of voodoo signaling. So there we have the connection to voodoo, and it fits fine into my story. Here we have the Alexandra again. There was made a portrait of her where she looked very much like one of those naughty girls, and there were a lot of talk about it. But why they have made this, I'm pretty sure it's because she has got the role where she has to signal that part of this Itis woman. And that's why I think it was a person like her who she came from the other side of the world. So that could be the symbolism for a person which life is turned around 180 degrees, turned upside down, you can say. She's from Hong Kong. She came from Hong Kong. But here we also have this shape that is connected to the dark sexual world, or the more naughty part of that. But when we have her, there were a house she was living in. Here it says princess in building, mess. Bygge means building, mess means both mess, but it also means root in Denmark. But here it could look like symbolism for being protected, or a cage, in a cage. And we also know it has been used to put on the head of some who should be brainwashed, but maybe to get a new sight on something, or being brainwashed to be like you want her to be. You can say you do that with a house when you restaurate it, when you make it look better. You change the house into something you better want it to be. There are container. There'll come a little bit more container, but that is something that should be moved away. Some dirt that should be thrown out. So there we had that too. Faraday cage could be the symbol for something like that. Maybe also something that then could protect you from the bad waves. But this was the apartment she was living in that also have these. And maybe it could be, it looks a bit like a bridge, the way it's made here. But in this apartment, it was, as far as I have understood, it was owned by the person or the company Maersk, which is one of the world's largest shipping, container ship companies. There were some from the Maersk family who was living there, I'm sure, and there were a person from the Danish National Bank who also was living in this apartment. So there could be some kind of connection between the role Princess Alexandra play. There's something with the money, and there's something with the shipping, something to other countries, to another country. I must admit, I don't know where she lived today, if she is still in Denmark or not. But here we have the same pattern on a bridge. So it could maybe be some kind of connection between maybe the brains, so you can see more clearly that there is a better connection. And I also have the feeling that when they put the zeros in a paper, the more you are messed in it, and the more information there are, and the more they know, the more zeros you get in your papers. We have the same patterns on the step on the moon. So that could also be when you end up at the dark side, at the moon. Then suddenly it can turn around and you can see these things in a different way. And then you have the opportunity to hopefully come back again. I love you till the moon and back again. My daughter said that to me. She had a book about a rabbit who said that. It was a child and a parent who was fighting a little bit with words, who love each other most. So in the end they love each other to the moon and back again. So it could also be a fine symbolism for that you are going far away from each other and into the dark, and hopefully you find back again to each other. But here we have the mask line ship. We also have this pattern on the Statue of Liberty, and it's at the crown. So there it could maybe mean something with protect your brain from bad waves, and that's the best way you can do that in normal way is to don't take the dark in. Don't let your brain be tricked by the dark. It also have the green, light green, something new. So there could be something with this Statue of Liberty and children in that story. We have this shape, David Bowie. He have been singing a lot of the space and going to Mars. Are there life on Mars? So there's a connection to speak loud, out, smoke. Symbolism for talk, speak. Here we have the shape. It could also look like a prison bars. And there's a wall that is breaking down. And it looks like some who has been prison is falling out. There are the prison stripes. That leads me to another picture with stripes, where we have the set that we see in the war today. Some talk a lot about this letter. And there I think it's because it symbolizes something with the N. You say Alpha and Omega is the end, and the last letter, and in many languages Z is the last letter. In Denmark we have 3 more, but in English Z is the last. We also have the 7 kroner, 7 rings. And there's a poem here, a rhyme. And it's a stamp, something that has been marked, of course. Here it looks like something that want to go down and take this 0, this egg maybe. That leads me to another kind of stripes, the barcode, where you can also see, you can clearly see what the price cost, the machine can, and some who have learned to read those lines, they can also see on it the barcode and say, oh, it costs this and this. And that leads me to the Olympic Games in 2018, Pyeongchang, where they are dancing. They make those barcodes, and the arena is round like an egg. And in Denmark they stamp all the eggs, chicken eggs you buy, with some numbers, some red ink numbers, so you can always trace back from which farm the egg comes. So there could be something with marking eggs. Interesting, actually. We come into the egg later. But they are dancing and they're dancing and dancing, and it seems to they are falling into a black hole in the end. Which leads me to Dubai one more time, where they have this building which is called the Black Hole. And there are some small also around. I think we'll stop the video here, and then I will continue where we come a little bit more into things in Dubai, and also these lines, stripes on things.